about your object?
So this is my Baba's ring. I want to say it was like her engagement.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if engagement ring is the right word. I don't think it's engagement ring, but it's something for her and my Gita. So her name was Jean, so there's like a J on it. But it's the two hearts because it's like her ring. That's all I really know about it.
Yeah.
My mom gave it to me. So
Wow.
now it's mine.
And so how old would this be?
Oh, very. Sorry, Mama. Very old.
Yeah.
Because she is no longer with us, but she was like 82.
Right.
And so she would have gotten married like 50 or 60 years before that. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Beautiful. Did she get married here in Canada?
Yeah, she got married here. She grew up in Andrew.
Oh yeah.
In Alberta.
Yeah.
And then she moved to St. Albert with like my Gita.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then they because she lived on the farm, and so my parents, or not my parents, sorry, my mom would like go with her sister and then visit at the farm and all that. But then they grew up in St. Albert.
Right. Okay. Wow, that's beautiful. Wow. Okay. So let's hang on to that for a minute. And you have, I think it's interesting that you both have rings.
Yeah, we didn't even plan this like that. I'm like, I'm going to bring a ring. Is that okay? She's like, yeah, of course, I'm bringing one too. This is passed down, I think, from my great-grandfather.
Is that Lebanese?
Yes, it is. It's from the flag. Yeah, so it was passed down, and then my dad's dad, so my grandpa, when my dad moved here, gave him like a big Ziploc bag of a bunch of jewelry, and that was in it, and there's something about that ring that I just really liked, and so I asked my dad, I'm like, can I have this? He's like, of course, have anything you want, just don't lose it. So, yeah, I kind of took that from him. Yeah.
That's beautiful too.
Thank you.
Wow. What is the significance of the tree? I don't remember.
I'm not too sure. I do know that they do have a lot of, I don't know what type of tree it is, actually. But I do know that they have a lot of them and they're very old. So I think it has to do something with when they were first.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah, okay.
And maybe if they're like still around, because if they can live a long time, it's like the sturdy and stability
huge
of
things when we went
Right.
there.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. What are you thinking you could do to translate that into some form of art?
Good question. I think I have like a limited sense of ideas just because I think maybe something more abstract.
Yes.
Because I don't think for myself I have a lot of strong skills in like fine details. Unless I swap out with Sahara and then get her to paint something because she's really good at it.
Okay.
But I think my idea would be something with like the J because her name was Jean and like with the hearts and maybe some form of abstract. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Okay. Sure. And so we can get some materials out here and try that. But I'm also curious, so do you act?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And so thinking about your acting, how would you translate that into your acting and maybe some form of, a prop kind of?
Oh, interesting. I never considered it as like a prop.
It's really interesting.
I think like with my acting and writing, I think either like character basing it, as in like it's a constant for the character. Like the ring was important to, for whatever reason, it's their constant when you watch like a TV show or animated where they only wear one outfit. It's like their one thing.
Yeah.
Or like even I do like screenplays and like stage play writing, having it be like almost like the pivotal moment, because rings, it's like a proposal, it's like something of importance, a big change in a life, and I don't know, maybe something like that, or like plot based.
And proposal is an interesting word. What does that make you think of, let's say, in your life today? I don't know.
I feel like proposals are like happy and exciting times. My oldest sister is currently engaged, so we're
Okay.
planning her wedding. So
Yeah.
it's like really fun and exciting, and I think like the hearts are just cute. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
fun, happy, starting something new with someone else. You
Yeah.
know, finding like not to say people are halves on their own, but like finding your other half, finding someone who really understands you and
Mm-hmm.
kind of brings out your best parts that
Yeah,
you might
yeah,
not
yeah.
see in yourself, or
Right.
brings out parts of you that you don't typically see in yourself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting. Okay. Do you dance?
I used to dance.
You used to dance, yeah. Can you see that being part of a dance?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and how?
So I used to Ukrainian dance. I did a whole bunch of types of dance, but I used to Ukrainian dance,
Mm-hmm.
and we always had like character dances, which were my favorite because they're kind of like acting. Like it's more of like a play. Something happens, you know. And I can either see it being like a whole like back and forth of everyone's trying to get it, of it being something of high value and everyone wants it, or again I keep coming back to this proposal thing of like hiding it, of like setting up a proposal and everyone's going about doing, oh, that would even be a play too.
That would, yeah.
Huh.
You
Yeah.
can see the dance.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, just taking it. It does not have to be an object-based process. It can be whatever it is that fits into your passion, what you, how you create. But we can try an object-based thing in a moment.
Cool, thank you. That's so interesting. I don't think I ever really take the time to like look at things so much and think about the possibilities of what they are.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so interesting too, you know, because then look at all those ideas we just talked about. Wow.
Yeah. So if I may, I love organza, and I see this ring with organza running through it and a dance. And it's kind of, the man and the woman are at either end. And the family and,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's...
You know what's crazy is I kind of thought of something like that too, like the two people kind of going back and forth for some reason. So that's really cool.
Yeah. But so all of the things that you have come up with, you could probably take in a couple of different directions.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Rochelle.
Well, I look at the ring and like they have like the flag on the side, and then the ruins. And I unfortunately never got to meet my grandpa. But I think about my dad being back in Lebanon and like how his childhood was and like all the stories that he would say. Yeah. So I don't really know. Like I kind of, when I look at this ring, I think of just like the villages and like the cherry trees and all like the grape leaves and the grape and like all that stuff. And so yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I see when I like look at the ring or
Right. Okay.
down.
And so how would you take something of what you've said and let's just so let's make it object based. How would you take something of what you said and translate something about that into something object based?
That's a good question. I would probably do like, this is very like specific, one item, cherries. Because the whole time we were there, we would always like every day we'd wake up in the morning and walk and pick cherries and have that for breakfast. And so that's like a very big, pivotal like moment of like, that's how I remember Lebanon, like going back there, that's kind of what I think about. So yeah, cherries.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're walking.
Yeah.
Where did you go pick the cherries?
In our vineyard.
In your vineyard.
Yeah.
I want to go there. Okay, so who are you walking with?
It's my grandma, my mom, my dad, all my siblings, my cousins, my aunts.
Okay.
We found a dog that someone wasn't very nice to, so we picked up the dog. So we had the dog while we were there. Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of a day? What time of day was it?
Early in the morning, like
Okay.
the sun was rising. It was hot, humid. Beautiful, bright. You know, the neighbors were setting out their laundry to dry. You know, everyone was saying hello to us as we walked by. There's animals like crossing the street, all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And how did you feel?
Blissful. It's not like a care in the world at all. Like I was young, but it was just like it was a beautiful experience to have, especially with family. Yeah.
Okay. And so take blissful. And how would you render blissful, either with art making or movement or?
When I think of blissful, I think of like, so weird, like mountains. Like I think of a bright blue sky. I think of mountains. I think of like peace, quiet, you know, birds in the background, flowing water. That's what I think of bliss.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to just get some materials out.
For sure.
And you guys are just going to go at it and see what, you know, whatever it is you come up with. And I think what's really important, I'm going to have you do one exercise first. That's my best drawing ever. And I keep it up there to remind me that I can do it again, because I worked hard to learn to draw. Oh my.
Mine will not look like that.
Well, it did not in the beginning. As I say, you can see from here, you know, that this was an earlier rendition of him, and you can see the, you know, it's not, the features aren't quite right, but I got it right there. I was so happy. Because I really wanted to learn to draw. You know, that's what I thought. I thought art was painting and drawing. And then I thought that in order to be an artist, you had to be able to draw. And of course, I couldn't draw. I didn't know how. But what I learned is that there are people who come by it just naturally. They can draw, they can see. And there's others who have to learn it as a skill, if that's what you want to do. But you don't have to be able to draw to be a creative person, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, and I guess, you know, thinking about art really, you know, art is in the making, as we talked about earlier, and maybe the word creative is a better word, because creative captures so many different kinds of media and processes.
Yeah.
You know, just doing painting in the traditional way, you know, you learn a lot about the medium, you learn a lot of technique, and I'm losing it. Not that I was very good at it, I must say, but and you know what? The other thing about what I find is a fear about creating. Am I going to be able to create something? And one of my instructors asked me, didn't you trace when you were a kid? No, I never traced. I thought, I'm going to start tracing. I haven't done it yet, but I am. I'm going to try on Sunday mornings to just take something and just trace it. I want to take faces, actually. And, you know, you're training the hand kind of thing, without that fear of, is this going to be good, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, what we are going to do, and I'm going to do it too. I'll use this piece of paper.
I haven't drawn pencil paper in a while.
Okay, all right. Don't panic. You are looking at Sahara, and you are not looking at your sheet.
Oh, yes.
We're doing blind contours. Yeah.
Drawing her
Okay.
face.
Okay.
Yeah, without looking at
Okay.
her.
So
Follow your hand.
Rochelle and I,
I
yeah.
apologize. This is not going to be anything.
Yeah.
This is the point. Let go of that need and that urgency and that idea that it has to be good. It's just going to be what it's going to be. So
I promise they look really cool.
yeah, okay. And try to, use as much as the paper as you can. I'm kind of, here, I'm going to get a better.
Oh, did you want more from in here?
Oh yeah, good. That's where it is. This is where I kind of start to lose myself. Yeah, good. Just grab it. The other thing about art is, you buy so much material, and that I was doing life drawing, painting, and then I decided to just not draw, try to just paint, and it was on during a Zoom during COVID. This is my husband's art.
Your husband does art too?
He only ever has done this one piece for me.
That's amazing.
I know, but he used to do it a lot when he was young. So it's just kind of this one line thing. Okay, so let's just get started, and we'll finish when we finish, okay? All right, so, and you don't look at your paper.
Do you lift the pencil, or you just have one line?
You can lift it up if you
Oh yeah, you can lift it up. Okay. Ah!
Oh!
Okay, let's see.
Whoa, that's so
really
good.
Isn't that cool? Let's see. Look at that.
I
Please
love
hang
your
it on
art.
your fridge somewhere.
I
will.
love it. Okay, let's see yours, Michelle.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my
hold this
goodness.
up so high.
Wow.
That's so cool.
You got like what's real. Okay, so let's just show them. That's Rochelle's. And you got an essence of me in there a bit.
Yeah.
You really did.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't know where the palm tree on your head came from.
That is so cool. And then yours is, oh my gosh. For me, what do you guys see in this?
I think the main things are the eyes. I think those were the big things that stand out to me.
Mm-hmm. And what do you see?
I see where I originally started and then where I got lost. But I still think it's kind of cool.
No, I
think so
like
too,
yours.
yeah.
So I don't know you very well, but just from getting to know you this evening, to me, this is you. This is this tells, for me, this tells me about you, and there's this hair and kind of you reaching for big things. You're out there. I don't know. Is that right?
I would say I'm pretty
Yeah.
up there.
Oh, is that right?
Sure.
I love it. I love it. Okay, very cool. And Sahara's. Now this
Sahara's.
is
This is
Sahara.
cool.
Sahara, yeah. This is really interesting too.
That's
so cool. It looks like it's like 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I originally started at a different place with the head. Like you can kind of see this is where it started with the face, but I'm like, I want to go larger.
Mhm.
And then I was losing track of where it was going. So just,
Mhm.
yeah,
This is an eye.
it is.
And look at the other eye here. I
Yeah.
love it. Do you guys see some reference to other artists in this?
Yes.
I was
it
thinking
Van
that.
Gogh?
Even
His
Picasso.
final,
Yeah.
Picasso, his final.
But I'm also seeing, from what I know of Sahar's art, like I'm seeing her art in here.
Yeah.
I
like-
think my style definitely comes through with it.
Yeah, like her vibe is there for sure.
Mm-hmm. And what is, so tell me, I have not seen your art, so tell me what in this sort of speaks of your art, your style.
I don't even know how to explain it. I've just been told over and over again that I have a certain style to the things that I do, which as a whole, you can see it together.
Yeah.
But I can never explain it myself. I don't even know how to talk about it. I think it also goes over with my overall aesthetic in life as well, too. I think everything just kind of looks like everything melts together well, even though they may be different things as well.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like it always just ends up fitting and the lines are just it always, like, from my experience with her art, it just always fits where it's supposed to. And the lines always, like, everything seems intentional, even if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I know
it's like,
exactly
it's
what
a
you mean.
statement.
Yeah.
I will say I'm very shocked that I got things in like a line, even though
Yeah.
it's like a little wonky. It's just like it's all in the places it needs to be, just not necessarily as where I wanted it to be. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I find striking too is, wow. I mean, you don't do this often, do you? No.
Last time I had done a blind contour would have been 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I thought okay, you got them in the place. And I love the sort of Picasso-y kind of look. Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. These are great. Well, I used too light of a pencil, but
Her hair and her eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say that too.
Especially, I was going to say, I loved your hair today.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, like I always say, like Rochelle, she has like striking eyes. Like it's just very like angular as well, and it's just like I think that pulls through with this as well.
does that? Yeah, yeah. And it's sort of, I think I'm undisciplined in my, kind of undisciplined.
Interesting.
Does that? I don't know, because I can never. I have yet to do a blind contour where everything is kind of in its place.
I think, though, that goes along with transcending the medium.
Yeah.
Oh,
As opposed
interesting.
to, like, perhaps it is being undisciplined, but I think it's also bringing, like, an unconventional way of doing something.
Oh,
to
maybe.
it, and then it shows through, because it still looks so cool. And we still
Yeah.
get, like, the
She's
main
gonna take
points of
pictures of
who
her
she
things.
is.
Yeah, so one of the reasons I haven't done any workshops before. I've done one in Calgary that was alongside the exhibition that I had there that had a lot of these works in it, and I've been thinking, well, maybe I should, work up some workshops, and I thought, the one thing, if I taught kids, the thing I would want them to let go of is that need to be representational, that need to make a frog look like a frog.
Yeah.
And so I thought that this might be a way to do it.
Yeah. Honestly, that was one of the best lessons I had taking art courses. I tried to do as many as I could, even though I was in the design stream, because I felt like there was a lot of times where I'm a perfectionist and I need things to look exactly the way I need to, or else I'll go over it till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
doing those things. And taking those art courses helped me, just be a lot more loose with my paintings and my drawings and all that kind of stuff, and making things more gestural. And then that in turn made it look more realistic. Things I just had to unlearn from when you start learning how to draw and stuff, even as a kid, making the outlines very harsh and doing things like that, whereas you can start by laying out your highlights, laying out your shadows and stuff, and then building into that outline.
Yeah. Who was it? Was it Picasso? Was it someone? One of the famous artists said, "I spent a lifetime learning how to draw like a child." And that letting go of, and that, yeah.
That's so interesting, that idea, because I remember being a kid and art was fine, because it's you take art classes, whatever. My favorite drawing, I still have it to this day, I drew in grade 4. It was of for the Olympics, I drew someone on a luge, and it was the only good, in my mind, to this day, it's the only good thing I've ever drawn.
Oh, yeah.
But then in grade 6, I remember art was the only class I didn't get a great mark in. And ever since then, starting in grade 7, I never took art. And I never took art because I'm not good at it. I have always been good at other things. And so I think that not hearing someone be like, hey, you're good at this, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not immediately good at it. I'm not going to do it.
Yes, I just read something or heard something about basically the idea is go toward that at which you are not good, because it's better to say you've tried it And
I'd love to be that person. I couldn't. It's my own personal thing. I need to be good at things. We're the same. We grew up together. We've known each other since we were 10. So it was very much, being able to be good at things. That's what I was like, yeah, I'm meant to do this. More or less,
Yeah, and I think that you need to do that. I think you need to go toward that at which you were good. And especially in your career, and as you're finding your way through life. And, as a sideline, trying things.
That you're not good at.
And you know what? Do it in a closet or, whatever, but just having had the experience. And I think maybe that's why I probably will never be a commercial artist. I probably will never be able to, just stay with, like some people are such beautiful landscape artists, or they, their thing is bears, and they just do all these beautiful bears, and they hone their painting skills to, perfection. I don't know if I will ever be able to do that. I hope so someday. But yeah, because I think it's that experimentation that's my thing. That excites me. I am just going to put out just a bunch of stuff. Is that okay? And you guys are just going to, you're going to just make whatever you want to make.
Originally, I just did this purple heart, and then I didn't really know what to do from there. And then I was like, oh, maybe you make the heart a little bigger. And then I was just going to do the heart, but then I was like, oh, what if there were like two people thinking about this love and whatnot? So then I did two people who were like connected, but don't really connected, thinking about the same thing. Yeah. And then I like this as like a mask of it, because they don't know that they're thinking of it. So it's kind of like hidden.
I like that. That's so cute.
Yeah.
That's my art. Thank you.
I love it.
It kind of reminds me of like there's certain wedding traditions and stuff. Like my family's pretty multicultural, but where they both have like the veil on both the bride and the groom. And when they get married, they have to have it over because it's like that connection between the two. So that's what I thought about.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
really cute. That's what I meant.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Years of
Wow.
high school, you find meanings and things that weren't intended.
Yeah. And yours, Rochelle?
So,
Yes. Thank you so much.
I drew the vineyard. I started with the wall, just because that was a big part for like my cousins and all of us. We'd always go like pick cherries or pick fruit and then sit on the wall and eat it and just kind of talk. So I started with the wall, and then I vividly remember the pathway going down because it's kind of at like it's like a hill. Just because that was the first bug I saw when I was in Lebanon, and it's very weird, but it was like a huge beetle.
Oh
And
my.
I hate bugs, so that's something that I just always like remember. And so I have like the kind of sunset thing going on, the cherry trees, and then looking through the magazine, I saw like that red, and I was like, that's a perfect cherry red.
Awesome.
And then I tried kind of sketching over the ring over here to kind of have it embedded into it. It didn't work, but it's the thought that counts.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah. If you could have some softer paper.
Yeah, it would
And
definitely
get the
work.
yeah. Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it's excellent.
Thank you.
So fun. Yeah. And I think that I don't know. What do you guys think?
I loved it.
That was so fun.
Yeah, I haven't like sat down. Like I love painting. I don't think I'm good at it, but I love like just it brings me back to being a kid,
Yeah.
and I haven't done it in a while, so it was nice
Aw.
to do it again.
Yeah. And I think that, going back to the things that we did when we were a kid that were fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did you do as a kid that was fun that you're doing today?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I try to occasionally color because I love coloring, but
Yeah.
I don't do it as often
No.
as I would like to. So.
Yeah.
This was nice because
Mm-hmm.
I think that's partially also what I was doing because it was like coloring inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's fun.
It's grounding.
Yeah.
For sure.
And like mentally relaxing.
Mhm.
So I feel like I'm very like go go go. What's the next thing you have to do? But this was like la, la, la,
Yeah.
la.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just painting a heart. Like,
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be anything that,
doesn't have to be anything more than painting a heart.
Yeah.
exactly.
I can
Yeah.
paint the heart and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all the
Yeah.
pressure there is. No
Yeah,
pressure.
that's
Just
right.
painting.
Yeah. Or you could pursue your abstract idea and cut up a bunch of pieces and end up with, something like this, which came from a bunch of pieces on a piece of paper, which I never ever, it's somewhere here now. But yeah, and it doesn't have to mean anything. It could be non-objective art.
For sure.